Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So as always, we're going to have a look at some numbers out of China, out of Europe, and then touch on a couple of things that happened to Tesla this week. No, I'm not going to touch on the whole Mark Rober thing. Plenty of other people already talked about that. Another channel actually tried to recreate the same thing. Very, very interesting results. I suggest you go watch that. I just want to focus on a couple of things, the things that we follow here on a weekly basis. And then we actually had a surprise team meeting, whatever you want to call it, from Tesla, where Elon Musk, believe it or not, Elon Musk still works at Tesla, is still a CEO, and actually still knows what's going on at the company. So we're going to touch on a couple of things that were mentioned during that speech, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that's probably also one of the main reasons why the stock ended the week or ended Friday quite green. So, as always, hit all the buttons. Would really appreciate that. If you hate Tesla, if you don't like the company, that's fine. But please just don't burn people's car, don't damage people's car, because you're really not proving your point. But if you are a good guy, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Would really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Starting off with the Tesla weekly insured number. This sheet is of course available to all the channel members. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine as well. You get it for free every single week here during this episode. So the number came in at 15,300, up week over week and up year over year as well. Right now, Q1 sits at 98,800. It's a little bit less than the 102,700 same time last year. Now, if we continue like this, continue to increase over 1,000, 1,200 each week for the next 2 weeks, we will be beating Q1 2024, believe it or not. And then in April, we're going to get the wholesale numbers, retail, export, and production numbers as well to get a better picture of what exactly is going on there. Because currently, of course, we are towards the end of the quarter, so there is that end of the quarter push. They will also have a push for exports, especially at the start of Q2. So it's always nice to get the bigger picture. We can also, of course, look at the model mix. Model Y, Model 3 was actually a pretty good week for the Model 3 as well. So that's why this pushed us above 15,000 for the week. Wouldn't surprise me if we're reaching around 17,000 next week. What was also nice to see is that, well, the first big mega pack from the mega pack factory in Shanghai has been shipped to Australia. So congratulations to their team. I mean, the fact that this is already happening in such record time is really mind-blowing. Switching to Europe real quick, the number for the week for the selected countries here: UK, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Iceland. You're going to ask me, yeah, what about France, Germany, etc., etc.? We don't get weekly figures from those countries. We get monthly ones. So of course, when the monthly figures will appear, I'll cover them on the channel. I'm not trying to hide anything here. The number for the week came in at 3,900, which is also up week over week. Actually, it's been trending up a little bit since the Model Y refresh. Now, what's also important to note, other than the fact that we're still down 24.1% year over year, is that the UK is actually still doing quite well, despite still delivering the old Model Y. Only the new one will be available starting in April, so that's important to note. So yes, here again, we're seeing end of the quarter push, not surprising, still quite lower than, well, previously. Quickly switching back to China. By the way, if you want to learn more about NIO, we covered the NIO earnings report and guidance. That video will be in the top right corner, talking about another Chinese car company, and one that is actually doing quite well. Looks like a Porsche, I know, copy pasta type of thing. The company Xiaomi, you might know them as a phone maker, but in China, whether you're a phone maker or something else, apparently you can start building cars. So not too bad. Xiaomi raises EV delivery target for 2025 to 350,000. That's up from the previous number that we got, 300,000. So they feel quite comfortable. With that, which also raises questions as to why NIO has been struggling in growing their own brand at the same pace as Xiaomi. Just an open-ended question. Switching back to Tesla, and you might say, oh, What does retail know? Well, retail for Tesla has been right more times than not. Apparently, according to JP Morgan here, retail net buying flow in Tesla stock was the highest it's ever been in the last, well, what is it, in the last 13 days or something like that, which you can see right here. So yeah, retail, Tesla retail especially, is definitely not scared of buying Tesla stock, even if the stock got slashed in half from the, well, recent highs. But remember, we're basically back to the levels we've not seen since before the election, and right after the election, the stock basically doubled based on sentiment, based on the election results. If you check out my, well, videos from when January earnings report for Tesla, I didn't really see so many people dunk on the stock. Were you so afraid to dunk on the stock above $400, but you're not afraid to dunk on the stock when it's down 50%? Funny how that works, right? Funny how that works. So yeah, I guess trolls will always appear when there is bad weather. Anyway, switching back to why you're here, other than some funny comments by myself, maybe some arrogance, who knows? It's always good, I think, once in a while. Anyways, we've got some interesting event that happened, of course, on Thursday, came out of nowhere. So Elon Musk popped up and actually started to talk about Tesla yet again, Tesla today and the Tesla mission in the future. So here are a couple of things that were mentioned during that speech. So Tesla is producing its first Optimus robot at their new production line in Fremont. New Optimus hand has 22 degrees of freedom, up from 11, and a new forearm. Those are now also in production. The next thing is, well, take it with a grain of salt, I'll say. Tesla Cybercab will ultimately roll off the production line every 5 seconds versus 35 seconds for Model Y. I mean, the fact that the Model Y rolls off the production line every 35 seconds is already mind-blowing. 5 seconds is quite fast. So even if we put a little multiple on that, it's 10 or 15 seconds, I think that's still mind-blowing. Tesla's 4680 cells is now the lowest cost per cell kilowatt hour in the world. So another interesting thing that Tesla is doing. Dojo 1 is active in New York and Palo Alto and handling around 10% of the FSD training load currently. Dojo 2 is on the way and will be 10x better than Dojo 1. And Elon said, they have a real shot at a breakthrough. Dojo has been in the background for quite a while, so we'll see what happens with that. Tesla is on track to build its 10th millionth car in 2026. Model Y, according to their projection, is on track to be the best-selling car in the world in 2025 for the third year in a row. I'd be very surprised if that actually happens, but, well, hopefully it does. Tesla semi-truck. Finally, some more talks about my favorite product. So the Tesla semi-truck factory remains on track to complete construction this year. Elon wants to experiment with much larger gigacasting machines. They produce 160,000 NACS adapters at Giga New York. They've seen record battery production currently happening at Giga Nevada, and Tesla's Cortex supercomputer at Giga Texas is currently 50,000 GPUs, will soon be 100,000 GPUs. At that point, it will be a top 5 global training cluster. Now, of course, the skeptics will say, all lies. And then the other side will say, great to see him at Tesla, engage with the employees, talk about Tesla and its future. So yeah, I think I'd rather be on that side of the discussion. And like I said, I am pretty honest when I go over these types of things. Some things, yes, even I'm taking it with a grain of salt. So I think I'm being fair here. Lastly, here is the stock. So last week we closed the week with a red hammer. This one we're closing the week with a green one, although lower than the previous week. RSI is low, but not oversold on the weekly and not even oversold on the daily. Last week we did go into oversold territory on the daily. If we looked at the RSI, yes, it's still under that uptrend line, so a bit in no man's land, although you could say that around $250 or so, that was previously also a resistance point twice or a couple of times here. Again, whatever happens here, don't really care, because let's face it, if you are a Tesla bull, You, of course, believe in the future of the company, energy, autonomous vehicles, Optimus, and whatever comes next. Yeah? Quite easy. If you're a Tesla skeptic, hater, or if you short the stock, I really want to challenge people. Like, if you really deeply hate Tesla stock, you think it goes to zero, please put your money to work and short it. Why not? If you're so certain. Now I have a question for you. What if they actually manage to pull it off? What if they actually manage to pull it off when it comes to robotaxis, full self-driving, Optimus, Tesla Semi, Tesla Energy, Dojo, etc., etc.? What if they actually pull it off? What if 80%, 75% of all of that comes true? Did you think about that? Did you think about that? Do you think Tesla will not be worth trillions of dollars in the future if they can achieve the majority of those things? Or is that too much to handle? Not the TV show, by the way. Just asking questions here. Just asking questions here. As you see, yes, I am a bit more spicy this week because I think it's time to push back a little bit. Time to push back a little bit. And like I said, I think I'll be the one laughing a year, 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. So make sure to check back on all the comments whenever Tesla stock got hit. Grab some popcorn, glass of wine, whiskey, whatever. I'm sure we'll all have some fun in the future. Right now, that's about it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.